back to another episode of Top Drives. I know what you're thinking, this doesn't look like Top Drive. There's milk over here and I really love milk. There's a bowl, there's a knife, and there are eggs. Well, how is this a Top Drives video? Well, today I want to teach you something, guys. I want to teach you how to get a Koenigsegg in Top Drives. I know, this is serious. This is actually a Top Drives video, but I'm also going to be making you some scrambled eggs, how I like to do them for breakfast, how I like to start my day. But obviously you guys know that I wake up at about 3 p.m. in the afternoon, but that's breakfast for me, so don't judge. But basically, if you remembered, one of my best pack openings on my channel was when I opened 8 Swedish carbon fibers, and I got 2 Koenigseggs out of them, which are legendary grade. For those that are watching me only for my cooking videos, then a Koenigsegg is a car, and it's legendary grade, and it's nice. But there's Swedish packs out right now. And I was thinking, let me show you how to get a Koenigsegg. Well, first of all, you need to respect the car. You can't just go to a Swedish carbon fiber and open it and expect a Koenigsegg. You can't just do that. You need to respect the pack, you need to respect the car, but most importantly, you need to respect the egg. That's why I have Koenigsegg always sitting next to my PC at all times for my pack openings, and as you can tell, my recent pack openings have been pretty good because Koenigsegg, you gotta respect the egg. But yeah, the last time I did it, like I said, I got 2 Koenigseggs from 8 Swedish carbon fibers, and I feel like the main reason I did that was actually before the stream. Now, those of you in my Discord server, you may know this, especially those in the stream, you will know this. I actually went to cook 2 eggs. I cooked 2 eggs, I sprinkled some scallions on top, and after cooking the 2 eggs, then I went on to record the 8 carbon fibers, because what happened was that I was recording a 1.3 million video on my Discord channel, and then after that I wanted to record the 8 Swedish carbon fibers, but then I was like, you know what, we're gonna take a break in between recording, so I went to cook 2 eggs. Among other things, there were some technicality issues with my credit card, that's why we had to take a break, but I'm gonna cook 2 eggs, and then guess what? I got 2 eggs. So today we're gonna be cooking, like I said, scrambled eggs, how I like them for breakfast. I'm gonna be using 2 eggs, and hopefully we'll get 2 eggs from 1 carbon fiber that I'm gonna open. I'm only opening 1 Swedish carbon fiber because, as you know, I'm saving up for Black Friday, but I felt that this would be good. Can you imagine if we will get an egg? We will get an egg. We will get an egg. So today I'm going to show you how I make my breakfast. So usually for breakfast, especially on a gym day, on a heavy gym day, now these are days when I don't go cardio. I go to the gym 5 times a week. And if I'm doing cardio, I'm only gonna have oatmeal for breakfast, and that's it. Oatmeal for breakfast, I rest for about 3 hours, and I go hit the gym. First things first is cardio. So if it isn't cardio day, if it's just weights day, or it's leg day, or abs day, or anything, I will go double heavy on breakfast. I will go oatmeal, as I always do, and then I will add it with eggs. It's always gonna be oatmeal, but sometimes I have eggs, sometimes I don't. And what I usually make is scrambled eggs, because I don't have a non-stick pan, so I can't really make fried eggs. I have a steel pan, and that's the only pan I used. I've used it for literally like 2 of my videos? No, 1, because the first one was cereal. So yeah, I always have eggs with my oatmeals when I want a big breakfast. So today I'm gonna show you how exactly I make this egg. So the first things first, we need 2 eggs. So we get egg, crack on the side of the bowl, and open. Okay, now throw that egg away. Second one's up, hit it, and open. Very, very nice. And as you can see, I got 2 eggs in here, and I totally forgot to get a fork. I need to go get a fork. All right, and I have a fork. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna whisk the eggs up very nicely. Now we're gonna, just mix it basically. And what I like to do is I like to put in some milk as well, which is strange, I know, but I like to add some milk. And then the last thing I like to do, which is even more strange, is I like to cut 2 cloves of garlic, and I'm actually gonna mix it with the eggs. So when I cook out the eggs, the garlic is gonna be cooking with it at the same time. So these garlics, cloves is 2 cloves. I guess I gotta move the cutting board in here so you can see. I'm basically gonna be mincing them. They gotta be really, really fine, because if you have big chunks of garlic and you're gonna cook it at the same time in the time frame you cook the eggs, then you're gonna have raw garlic, and that's not gonna be good. So as you can see, guys, we have minced our garlic. This is just 2 cloves, and we're gonna add this into our egg mixture. And in here we have, like I said, 2 eggs and a little bit of milk. Some people like to add like butter and mix it, or they like to add butter to the pan and then mix it. But I don't have butter because I'm just a health nut at this point. So yeah, at this point, you're just gonna mix it out, make sure that everything is just well incorporated together. Now we have the eggs basically mix. I want to show this to you, but I also don't want to pour it all over the table. I mix it for maybe about 30 seconds to 40 seconds. And obviously we're going to be continuing to mix this while we're cooking it in the pan as well, because once again, it's a scramble. So next thing that we want to do is we want to prepare what we're going to add into our scrambled egg dish. I personally like to go with a tomato. This is a pretty small tomato. I usually use ones bigger than this, but this is the last tomato in my fridge. Tomato in the chat, by the way. If you watch my live streams, you know I can say tomato. 1 red chili as well, and I like to add some oyster mushrooms as well as some bok choy for the green. So all we need to do now is just to get all of these ingredients set up. So first of all, the tomato, super simple. I like to cut it down the middle, and then I got 2 halves, and then you want to basically cut it into quarters. And once you cut it into quarters, all you need to do is just slice them on the side until you get like kind of like, they're not dice, but like they're kind of like small enough chunks where it's like kind of just bite-sized chunks in my opinion. Like, see, the thing is, I'm pretty lazy, so I don't want to go and dice my tomatoes. So I kind of just like cut them to a point where it's like small enough where I'm just content with it. We got the tomatoes in here. Next thing for the chili, all you want to do is cut off the stem, and then you want to just cut the chili into pieces like this. We're gonna be dicing the chili basically, so don't worry about it. This just makes the whole process easier for me. So now we have the chili, we just need to finely dice them, so I like to just cut them across the end like this and just keep going and going and going. Now, don't worry about this. If you are afraid of the heat that chili brings, if you're not just, like your tolerance of spiciness is just not very high, don't worry about it. Another way that you can do it is you can get the chili and you can cut it down the middle. When you cut it down the middle, it will expose basically the insides, and what you want to do is literally gut the chili. So what you want to do, because most of the heat comes from the seeds, so what you want to do, and I guess I don't have a chili with me anymore because I chopped it up, but what you want to do is basically get it and you want to like cut it in the middle, open it up, and then take out all the seeds from the inside. Like you can wash it out with water, anything you like, and so by then you wouldn't really have most of the spice, but you will still have the beautiful vibrancy of the chili. It's still nice and red, bright red, and it'll be a new layer of, I guess, colors into your dish just to make it look nicer. But anyway, we now have the tomatoes and we have the chilies finely diced. Well, actually just the chilies finely diced. Next thing we want to do is add our oyster mushrooms. These ones, I just liberally slice them, I guess, or chop them. Like, I don't really care about the size that comes out as long as it's cooked. Like, this is like what I make for breakfast, right? And you know me, I do not like mornings. I hate mornings so much that I'm not even awake in the mornings. I mean, I sleep at like 6 and I wake up at like 2. So, you know, it's still breakfast. It's still breakfast. And even though it's not the morning, you know, when I wake up, I'm like really like just out of it. Like, what can I say? Like, I'm just really blur. And I'm just like focusing on chopping because I do not want to chop my finger off. But I'm just really blur. I'm super out of it. I need my coffee. If I don't have coffee, then I'm just gonna be like, I'm gonna need like 2 straight hours before I wake up. So, you know, when I'm making my morning breakfast, these scrambled eggs, I don't really care about the presentation. I don't really care about how finely I dice it, or if every single dice is precise to the size of the last. Like, I don't really care about that because I'm just waking up. As long as it tastes good. As long as it tastes good. And I can guarantee you this does taste very nice. So we got some oyster mushrooms kind of like sliced in here. We got our chilies and we got our tomatoes. So here we go. This is what everything looks like so far. So I'm gonna go add these into the pan, and then I'm gonna chop up this bok choy. Okay guys, so now we have our bok choy. As you can see, it's washed and peeled, I guess. Is peeled even the right word? I basically just took the individual vegetables or the individual stems of their main, like the root, I guess. I don't know, man. Like, this is like, we're going to the point where we're at bok choy analogy. Like, this is like biology, but for vegetables. Wait, well, vegetables is just biology, I guess. I don't know, but basically the next thing I do is I just chop them up into like bite-sized pieces. Once again, like literally, it's just scrambled eggs with condiments cut into bite-sized pieces. But yeah, next thing, we have the bok choy, but basically the prep phase is literally done. Now we just need to get into cooking, so let's get into that. Alright guys, so here we are at the pan, and as you can see, I got the tomatoes, I got the oyster mushrooms, and we got the chili in the pan. I put in some olive oil and a little bit of salt, and I have the electric stove, I guess. I know it's pretty funky for some people. I guess some people haven't seen it before. Personally, I don't see it really often. I'm used to the gas stoves with the fire and everything as well. But this apartment only comes with, well, electric stoves. And for this electric stove, I put it up to about medium-high, not medium-high heat, but just about medium heat. And what we're gonna do is that we're gonna kind of slow cook, not really slow cook, but like, we don't want to put it on high heat. We don't want the mushrooms to, and the the tomatoes to basically burn. So we're putting on a medium heat and we're just gonna be stirring this mixture until everything starts to sizzle, and then we're gonna add in the bok choy. The last thing that we wanna do is add the eggs, because the eggs is the last thing that we wanna burn, and it has the highest chance of burning. So eggs is the last thing we're going to put in as well. Alright guys, so now I've been cooking at about medium-high for maybe the past 2 minutes or so, and as you can hear, or as you can see and hear, that everything is starting to sizzle, and kind of the tomatoes are kind of like breaking up a bit, and they're just mixing into the sauce. They're mixing with the mushrooms, they're mixing with the chilies, and the best thing is the smell. This smells amazing, but now with everything kind of breaking apart, we want to add in our bok choy. So as you can see here, we're just gonna basically cook it until the bok choy leaves begin to wilt, and they will decrease in size. We don't usually work with bok choy. Think of it as spinach. I personally prefer spinach. I love spinach, but spinach is also more expensive than bok choy, so I gotta go with the economic option. But yeah, basically what we want to do is now we want to stir everything up and just cook it until the bok choy leaves start to wilt. Once they start to wilt, that is when we know we have to add the eggs. Alright guys, I've been stirring this bad boy for quite a while now. The flavors and everything in here, everything in this pan, they know each other super well now. As you can see, the leaves have completely wilted, and the brightness of the green has also increased. And we just want to get it to the point where I guess the stems are also just not too crunchy, but also not too soft. But we will know that once the leaves of the bok choy has wilted, as it has. So next thing we want to do now is we just want to add in our egg mixture. And once again, remember, we add a little bit of milk into this and a little bit of just super finely minced garlic. So once you add in the eggs, turn the heat down, because this is where you need most of your attention. Well, actually, this is where you need all of your attention. This is kind of like the final stretch when you're in a race, right? You need to put all of your energy into this pan. You gotta constantly stir. Always stir the pan. Do not stop, because if you stop, parts of the egg will burn, and you do not want that to happen. So basically, and also, you know, stirring it will get the eggs to really incorporate itself with all the other ingredients that we have in the pan. So the bok choy, the tomatoes, the chili, they're all gonna get to know each other. Now, we're not gonna cook the eggs for too long either. We're only gonna put it in here for literally like maybe a minute and a half, and even then might be even too much. Honestly, I don't know how long I put them in here for. All I know is that it's just not very long. See, at this point, when the eggs start to break up into little like solid little curds like this, I turn the heat off, because there's still going to be residual heat in the pan. You know, the pan is still hot. It's like the pan is going to go cold right away. So as you can see here, I'm still cooking the eggs. Even though I turn off the heat, the eggs are still cooking. And that's going to be it. I'm not going to be turning on the heat anymore. As you can see, the eggs, they're nice and kind of like creamy. And Jesus Christ, it kind of went all over the place there. But now what I want to do is I want to add some milk, because honestly, I just like milk. So I'm going to put some milk into that, and we're going to continue mixing it, making sure that everything is incorporated together. I guess the milk makes it a little more creamy. I'm pretty sure I'm just telling myself that, but at the end of the day, I just love my milk. Here we are. I just got a nice little bowl, which is identical to the one that I beat my eggs in, or whisked my eggs in, but obviously this isn't the same one, don't worry. I just have two of the same bowls. They're both from IKEA. They're really nice. But yeah, now we gotta put the eggs into the bowl now. They're, you know, really nice, really vibrant, really good to look at, and obviously really tasty. You know, the yellow in the egg is really bright. You have the red in the chilies and the tomatoes, as well as the green in the bok choy. And then whatever the color the oyster mushrooms are, it's kind of like an off brown or whatever it is. But yeah, there you go. Those are my scrambled eggs. And this is what I usually eat for breakfast alongside some oatmeal. And like I said, if I'm on a cardio day in the gym, then I'm not gonna have any eggs. But that said, we gotta get to the main point of the video. Alright guys, so I've switched over from my iPhone and my kitchen to my computer setup and my OBS and my webcam. And as you can see, the kitchen's literally right over there. So like, I've only moved like 3 feet. But as you can see, I have my scrambled eggs, which thank you so much if you watched it. It actually tastes really good. I'm gonna have a mouthful literally right now. It's so good. You have the creaminess of the egg. You get a little hint of the minced garlic as well. And then you have the crunchiness of the bok choy, the spiciness of the chili, and like I said, if you don't like it too spicy, you can always deseed it. And then you have kind of like that firmness, like it's like an al dente-ness almost of the oyster mushroom. It's like it has a bite to it, but it's also not mushy. So it's a good, like the texture of the mushroom is a good balance between the creaminess of the egg as well as the crunchiness of the bok choy. But with that said, hopefully I have done the Swedish carbon fiber pack justice. I have made an amazing scrambled egg, and I'm eating eggs right in front of Koenigsegg. We have Koenigsegg here for the stream as well to bless us with this one singular Swedish carbon fiber. But like I said, guys, this is how you get a Koenigsegg. You know, you have to respect the pack. You need to create eggs. Because this is what happened last time. I made 2 fried eggs and I got, Koenigsegg, 2 Koenigsegg's in fact. So this is it, guys. The moment of truth. Making eggs. Will it get you an egg? We about to find out. 1 pack. 1 pack. I wanted to save the rest. I am going to save the rest for Black Friday, but 1 pack. We are going to get an egg. We have to get an egg. If not, then I have to name it like Blossom, how to get a Koenigsegg, how to get a Koenigsegg gone wrong or something. But let's see. First card. Okay, Volvo S90 T5. Once again, we have Koenigsegg, we have scrambled egg. Let's see what we're gonna get, baby. And